Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Sports. And tell you what, we are in for a very interesting Springbok selection. Rassie Erasmus is currently over in Cardiff with just 25 players. And unless we get a late addition to the squad, he currently has only 7 backline players in his arsenal to use, which means that we are basically guaranteed to see a 7-1 split tomorrow for the first time this year, simply because there aren't the players available and in the squad to go with anything else. And feel sorry if the 2 players are going to have to miss out this weekend, but it's absolutely bizarre. And this, I think, further emphasizes the fact that this test should not be taking place. You know, it really, I don't think, is adding a lot of value at the moment to the Springbok side. Even if you look at the side, for example, that we are probably likely to pick or potentially about to pick, yes, it's an opportunity for a couple of players to get a little bit of international exposure. But Wales being in the exact same situation, also down to their absolute bare bones. In fact, the Welsh side's come out, and it's not a good Welsh side, to call it a spade a spade. I mean, Wales aren't playing well anyway at the moment, and now they're down to a very weakened side, which is not particularly strong. However, we are going to have a bit of a look at exactly what the team might look like and what the 7-1 split might look like in a little bit. So before we do that, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so this is the team that I think we might see. And I want you to get your prediction locked in on mypicks.app. Go to mypicks, go get your team locked in, go and try and predict it. And let's see if you can kind of jump into the mind of Rassie Erasmus, and you can go predict your side. In the front row, he has been flown over. I'm going into Tuka to start. And I think Johan Grobler potentially starts, although we might see Bongi Mbonambi start, given the fact that he obviously hasn't played at all this tour. Maybe keep the Johan Grobler for I would say keep it for sort of the Bulls bench, but I'm expecting to see Asnat and Tlabakanya potentially involved this weekend, seeing as he hasn't got a run out yet. And Volker Lowe has had a very big workload in the last year. So I've gone with Nsuka Kuno, Jan Grobler, and Zachary Porthen to start. Zachary Porthen getting his 3rd cap, and hopefully we'll get more than the 20-odd minutes he got against Italy, because he had to be pulled off due to the sort of card situation. Jean-Claude, interesting, has stayed with the squad and is with the squad. That's obviously a special dispensation, really, coming from Munster and allowing him to remain with the Boks. And I think he'll start next to Franco Mostert, who's obviously been cleared. And I think Ruan Okia, given the fact he's quite versatile, will probably start on the bench with the ability to potentially cover different positions. I think Marco Verstappen probably starts number 6 jersey. Ben Jason Dixon probably gets a real go in the number 7 jersey, with Jasper Wiese in the number 8 jersey. A reminder that there are 12 players who've we've been told are unavailable, and they are Grant Williams, Andre Pollard, Monty Liebach, Jesse Creel, Cheslin Colby, Kurt Lawrence came back due to concussion. Edel van der Merwe's gone back as well. There's no Malcolm Marks, there's no Thomas du Toit, there's no Bern Venter, there's no Loet Diago, there's no Arceus Neyman, and there's no Peter Steff du Toit. So your options at number 9 are Kobus Reinach or Morne van den Berg. My guess is Morne van den Berg. Kobus Reinach does cover wing, and I think we'll probably start on the bench in that 7-1 split. Sasha is our only number 10 available, unless we go Damien Willemse at 10, Sasha at 15, but we've only got those options. So Sasha at 10, Andre Estes and Damien Delende is pretty much the only way we can kind of fit all these players into positions, unless we suddenly weirdly see one of them on the wing. Ethan Hook at 11, Kenny Moody at 14, Damien Willemse at 15. That backline basically picks itself due to it being the only real option. The only change you could really do is either Morne van den Berg or Kobus Reinach, unless you go and suddenly start a forward in the backline. You know, unless all of a sudden Kwagga Smith's running on the wing, or the likes of that. Because there's just no other options. There literally is not enough players and options to have this anywhere else. So, for example, in this, you'd probably then, for example, on the bench have in this regard, Bongi Mbonambi, Gerard Stennekamp, Asnat and Tlabakanya, Evan Etzebeth, Ruan Okia, Sia Khaleesi, Kwagga Smith, and then Morne van den Berg. And that's your 8 players on the bench, you know. And in that sort of scenario, for example, then you know, you'd have somebody like a Wilco Lowe who sort of misses out. But yeah, unless there's literally a player that's been called out that we haven't been informed about, there just isn't enough players in the squad at the moment to sort of fill the positions. Grant Williams has returned, obviously. No Edel van der Merwe, Kurt Lawrence has got concussion shares, and Colby not available. So yeah, I'm very interested to sort of see what we're going to see tomorrow. And maybe we might get a late press release. Maybe somebody has been availed, for example, that they've been able to sort of draft in last minute. It obviously won't come from any of the European sides, for example. Maybe there's been a conversation. Somebody like Ches and Colby's been given permission to stay behind or the likes of that, but not from as far as we understand, based on the press release that came out on Monday. So it's a very, very tricky scenario that the Boks find themselves in to try and cope with these issues and the lack of players that they really have at their disposal. And I mean, look, in the same way, it kind of presents an interesting challenge, I suppose. The fact that maybe we can get away with having just 24, 25 players in the squad in the build-up on the week, and being able to still get a result against Wales, which I think we probably will do. Wales are just in that bad of form at the moment. Don't have players, missing out so many players from them. Your Thomas Williams, your Reece Sammets, your Max Llewellyns, your Daph Jenkins. It's like something like 12, 13 players as well that they're missing. So it's not going to be, an all-time classic at the end of the day. Will we say maybe get information from maybe a Zachary Porthen? Maybe to a certain degree, but at the end of the day, a lot of these players are going to be scrumming against Welsh players that will play anyway against in the URC. So I don't think we're going to get up to a test match level of rugby. That's my biggest worry, is that we just don't get to a level of rugby where we're kind of emulating test match rugby. And I think that in hindsight, looking at how this has kind of panned out, you should never have had this game in the first place. I think the Japan game was of a lot of value. I think we had obviously a lot of players available and we can kind of make it work. This, however, is just not worked out. And I think it's sad that we're going to kind of maybe fizzle out at the end of the season. If we had gone off with a bang with that Ireland game, then I think it would have been the perfect sort of end to what an incredible year we have had. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting at the end of the day. And very, very keen to sort of see how Rassie kind of copes with this and what are the big calls? Who doesn't get into the side, for example? Because there's not. I mean, pretty much everyone gets to the side, bar potentially two. And I mean, in this regard, yeah, as I said, at the moment there's no Wilco Low, for example. Kind of, and I think in the back line, you've got to, we unless we go with an 8-0 split, for example, then all the backline players currently in the squad will feature in the 23 because there are that few. So let me know what changes you'd make. I don't think that many changes you can make, in all fairness, but maybe that makes it easy on mypicks.app. So go to mypicks.app, go and register, go and predict your squad, send your squad in. We're going to be doing it live this evening, and obviously having a bit of time before it is announced tomorrow at 12 o'clock South African time. That is when Rassie Erasmus will confirm all the different potential rumors we have of this side. But let me know what you think is going to happen, and what are your thoughts on the game itself? I'm, for one, not a massive fan, but it is what it is, and we kind of have to roll with the punches, don't we? So please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well, and we'll see you guys all very soon.